Well, hello, North Platte friends and families. We come to you today with a group from North Platte Public Schools High School, and we're going to chat a little bit about some of the activities that we have been participating in this year. Today, we have with us Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Ron Hansen, and Mr. Jordan Cudney, our Director of Activities. Mr. Cudney, can you introduce the crowd we have with us today?
You bet. Today we have our three of our winter sport teams. We got Coach Matt Kaminsky and Luke Zimmelman with boys basketball. We have Coach Tyson Hammond and Gracie Hanneborg with girls basketball. And then we have Coach Brian Yankee and Jonathan Bruliette with swim and dive today.
Awesome. Well, welcome and thank you for letting us take over your morning for a few minutes. We greatly appreciate your time today. So we're going to get started with our students. I'm going to ask you to reintroduce yourself, students, and answer this question. What was one moment that you hope to never forget about this season? And Gracie, we're going to start with you.
Okay. Well, I'm Gracie Hanneborg. I play for Tyson Hammond, and I would say my favorite moment about this season was like getting better. And by the end of the season, we probably played our best game, our district final. And I would say that was probably like my favorite game was the district final, just because it's a good feeling to go to state.
Awesome. And state's always a fun place to go, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Lucas, tell us a little about yourself and answer the same question.
I'm Lucas, and I was a senior on the boys basketball team this year. And a moment I don't want to forget this season was the Scottsbluff and Gearing games. It was a really fun weekend, and we got snowed in, so we got to stay an extra day and play with some kids in the pool. And it was just a super fun time.
Excellent. You know, we got some pretty good feedback about how genuinely awesome our kids were at that extra day in the pool. So maybe we'll chat about that in a little while. How about you, John?
I'm John Bruliette. I'm a diver. I'm the swim and dive team. Brian Yankee is my coach. And there were a bunch of moments this year that were incredible, but the best one was probably winning state. It was just going into it super nervous, and then after every round hearing Yankee cheer and my sister cheer and like my parents cheer, that was nice. And I dove pretty much the best I dove all season at the most important meet of the season.
Definitely memorable times at that state competition, but that growth is certainly important. And to hear and have people in the stands cheering for you was probably a little bit of a surprise for most of us this year, being that we've kind of had some changes to our normal seasons, as we like to call them. And coaches, I'm going to ask you, why was this season so impactful to yourself and your team? And we'll start with you, Mr. Hammond.
Coach Hammond, this season was pretty important, I think, for us as a whole. I think it gave our kids a chance to kind of get back into a little bit more of a normal routine. And, you know, the fact that we've been able to be in school and do things on kind of a normal and regular basis, and then add activities into it's been pretty amazing for us. The impact that sports have on our kids and on our community is pretty hard to state sometimes. And I think even in a year like this, where it kind of feels like there's other things that are always going on, that chance to just kind of get in your groove and zone in on what you like to do. And for a lot of them, what they love to do, I think was pretty amazing.
Thank you. And I would agree. It's been an interesting year for sure. And keeping our kids in activities has certainly been something that we've worked very hard on. Mr. Cudney has led the charge on that, and we're grateful to him for making sure his activities still took place. Mr. Kaminsky, same question to you.
Well, I think, you know, a lot of teams this winter would talk about how resilient their groups were with all that went on this winter. I'd be no different. That word really sticks out to me with our team this year. You know, we didn't know week to week what was going to happen. We within our games, within our season. I was just impressed by this group on their bounce back, whether it be from we have a bad practice, we'd have our best practice. We didn't play well in a game, we'd have our best game. We had COVID hit us for a week, and we responded well to that. First, the beginning of the season, end of the season. So, we talked about many words this year, week to week, that applied to our team, but I was most impressed with our resilience because, oddly enough, this year went really, really fast. And as a coach, when a year goes fast, you got a really great group of kids, and with all the circumstances we were going through, that really stood out to me as their coach this year.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Kaminsky. We agree from the district office. I think we can agree that things have been cruising right along, and we're not sad about that because, like you said, when things are going well and we've got lots of things to cheer on, it certainly makes it a lot easier to come in and get the job done. Mr. Yonke, okay, so you might be one of the biggest cheerleaders I have ever seen for students. You crack me up every time I see you in the hallways, but John mentioned you cheering him on. So tell us what the impact was on you to be able to be at the state meet, to be able to coach your students this year.
Well, I'm no different than everybody else. I feel absolutely blessed that we had a season. I had 50 plus athletes out, and we were so fortunate that COVID actually didn't affect us as a team, which I was very surprised. But all the protocols and all the things that we did sure made a difference. So, through all the competing and parents not being able to be there a lot of the time, I felt like the kids did amazing. I felt like they stepped up to the challenge. They were competitive. We had 3 girls and 2 boys relays go to state. All 3 girls relays broke the school record at North Platte High again this year. And then of course, Jonathan, what can I say about him? He, as a freshman, he was 16th. As a sophomore, he was 6th. As a junior, he was runner up. And I remember talking at the beginning of the year, he said, I guess I have one place to go. And I said, that's right. It's time to win it. So it's been a fun year. So just blessed to be able to have the season.
All right. So students, what's next for you? Lucas, what do you have coming up next?
I do not play spring sport, but I received a K-Hop scholarship to go to UNK and pursue a pre-med degree, and then on to UNMC to hopefully become a radiologist.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on that K-Hop. That's pretty impressive. Good job. All right, Lucas. Oh, sorry, John. What's next for you?
I'm going to Denver University to dive there. That's exciting. Colorado is like my state of choice anyways. Check it out.
Awesome. Well, they're getting a great, talented young man, and we wish you all the best in your dive career. Maybe one day we'll see you at the Olympics diving. Is that a possibility?
I don't know.
Well, you never know. You never know what'll happen next. So just hang in there, and good luck to you in Colorado. Gracie, what's the future hold?
Okay, well, I'm playing soccer right now. And my future for college, I'm still undecided. But I have more of an understanding like where I'm going to go now, kind of. But I'm not fully 100%. So I don't really want to give it away because what happens if I don't go there? But I do plan on playing both as of right now, basketball and soccer. But I guess I'll see in the next couple of weeks. I'll find out for sure.
Perfect. And you know what, Gracie, there is no harm in still trying to make that decision. Those are big life decisions. And I tell you what, you're not going to go wrong. Just follow your heart and listen to those who care and love you. They're going to lead you in the right direction, but also make sure you're doing what's best and being true to yourself. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You got this, girl.
Thank you.
Okay. Coaches, we'll start with Mr. Kaminsky. What advice do you have for students in the off season?
Well, I'm just thrilled to have an off season, and that's kind of the main message I've been talking with the boys is that it's so important and so impactful, and to not have it, I don't think people realize how much of a dent that puts, especially when you don't have experienced guys. So conversation with them is some of the things that we want to work on this year. We want to become better, become better shooters. We want to get stronger in the weight room. Those are probably the most important things for our crew. And then just the leadership. Part of the off season is building that camaraderie and chemistry and finding out who your leaders are going to be that next year. And we have some plans for that as far as workout groups and leadership activities. So just excited about the off season and getting the kids to understand how important that is.
Very good. Mr. Yankee, how about the off season for your crew?
Well, as you know, last year we didn't get one. We had a really good swim clinic planned with Nebraska Wesleyan to come out, and that couldn't happen. So my hope is we have a clinic, and they can work hard and get better. And I'm a big proponent of multi-sport athletes. So I put it out there. Be involved in a lot of different things because it's going to make you a well-rounded athlete for sure. So just wanting the kids to experience new things and just make themselves better all the way around.
Thank you. Mr. Hammond.
Yeah, big off season for us. We lose a lot of people this year. We had 6 seniors this year that played, and between Gracie and Abby, we had 2 4-year starters that we lose too. So, going into the off season for us, a big part of that is we kind of have a little bit of a reset in front of us as far as, we got to have a lot of people step into new roles. So, the opportunity to have an off season is really big for us first. And then, secondly, we got a lot of stuff in front of us to figure out, who steps into leadership roles and, who's willing to kind of step in and take charge a little bit. But we're really excited to see that. We got some younger kids that are pretty talented and getting back in the gym and, getting into our shooting groups and our ball handling groups and getting back in the weight room and being able to do all those things, just little things like going to Kearney for summer league and, having that time, in the transit van or the Suburban or whatever it is that we take, go down and play a couple games and eat and get to hang out together. And, it builds good bonds and it builds good teammates. So we're looking forward to it. And, we're really excited about the future and what we have in front of us.
Very good. And we are losing some great talent, 3 of which have been sitting here on the screen with us today, but they have bright futures ahead of them, and we're extremely proud of each and every one of them. Mr. Cudney, spring sports are up and running. What do we have to look forward to this spring?
Well, I think, first off, we get to look forward to the fact that we have a spring. Last year we didn't have one, no one across the country did. And this year we do have the opportunity to have a spring, and it's fun and it's surreal all at the same time because, last Thursday I was out at Madison, we were playing soccer, and, Friday the track team was competing, and then, the tennis team hosted an invite, and then golf, we're going to host an invite here on Friday. So it's exciting because I get to see these young men and young women out there doing a sport that they love, that they haven't been able really to compete at in 2 years. And so that's exciting to me. That's fun to see and fun to see those sports in action. Just on the landscape for the spring, we do host, I think, 4 more home soccer dates, whether it's played at Bauer Field or out at Madison Middle School. So we got a number of opportunities for people to come out and see our soccer programs, both boys and girls, here this spring. This Friday, we do host the North Platte Boys Golf Invitational out at River's Edge. And then later in the year, if memory serves me right, I think we have a duel that we'll host at home. So we don't have a lot of home opportunities for the boys golf team, but this Fridays are a big one. Tennis has a number of home invites or tournaments or triangulars or duels. So it'll be fun to see them out there competing. And I know the community is really working hard to get a new tennis complex. And so I know our kids and our coaches are really hoping that's able to go through, and we're able to get a nice complex here in North Platte that we can host a lot more stuff at. And then lastly, track and field next Thursday, the 1st, we'll host our annual Buffalo Bill Invite. That's our home invite track meet. And then May 6th, we host the Greater Nebraska Athletic Conference track meet. So both are great opportunities to come out and watch our kids compete. Across the board this spring, I think we got some talented kids, some talented teams, some coaches that love their teams well and coach them up well. And so I think it's just another opportunity that we can continue to keep the success and the momentum that we've kind of gained thus far this year, to keep it going. So I know I'm excited. I know our teams and our kids and our coaches are excited. So we're just looking forward to getting another season under our belt, and then we'll transition ourselves into our summer programs.
Mr. Cudney, we greatly appreciate your leadership in keeping activities up and running this year. I know that the district office is extremely proud of the work that you have put in to keep things rolling. Coaches, same to you. You've overcome some insurmountable circumstances over the past year. And students, thank you for your resilience. Now, Dr. Hanson, we've had many, many conversations in this regard, but could you tell us why it has been so essential to allow activities to be held this year? Hold on, you're muted.
Well, first of all, congratulations to the athletes and the coaches for your great season. I just want you all to understand that you have a huge impact on the culture, not only of the school, but of the community. We had just such positive chatter about our athletic program from the winter to the fall, winter, and going into the spring. So thank you for your contribution and bringing such joy to be part of that great organization. So thank you for that. But going back to your original question, the activities plays a huge role. The positive relationships established between the coach and the athlete it lasts forever. So, if you hit the replay button and you go back a year from now, we came to a standstill. Very little to no interaction between student athletes and coaches. So I think everybody is understanding the importance of these opportunities to participate, build those relationships and collectively work towards a, common goal. So participating in extracurricular activities is an essential component to the educational experience for our students. As the three have witnessed here, they have bright futures. And I think as being active in extracurriculars and their academic side of things, they're going to be no doubt productive, responsible citizens, which we try to work towards. So thank you for what you do.
Dr. Hanson, we like to end with telling people how things are doing, how we're doing at the school district. We've got a little bit of different information coming our way over the next week. So maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Well, I'm excited and nervous at the same time. As you know, we're not at the finish line yet. So that's what makes me nervous. I don't want to trip. We worked so darn hard this year to keep our students and staff safe and give these students the opportunity to participate. So we're not there yet. We've got about 30 plus days left of this year, a little longer with our spring sports that goes beyond the school year, but we just have to be cautious, be safe as we go through to finish this year. Hopefully, if things keep trending the way they are, we're going to make some subtle changes. For example, we're going to allow our volunteers, especially our teenage program, to let those mentor-mentees get together. But hopefully, if May turns the corner, we'll have some other changes that come about. But again, I'm nervous and excited at the same time, but I just encourage people to be patient, and we've got to finish this year strong. We've worked so hard to come this far, and you heard the student testimony and the coach's testimony today. It was a pretty darn good year considering the circumstances. So we're very fortunate. Well,
very good. And again, let's stay the course for the rest of March. Students, staff, families, we really appreciate the hard work you have put in to keep our kiddos in person learning, our activities rolling, and that is both our academic and our athletic activities. Oh my goodness, that musical this last weekend. I know that Miss Purdy was extremely excited to get to host that. I did get to watch it on live stream Friday night, and I have to say the talent within North Platte Public Schools is just absolutely incredible. One thing I would like to point out is that without that leadership and that perseverance, we wouldn't be able to do these things. Without the leadership of our superintendent, I think that we would see a lot different school year. So we appreciate each of you. Families, be ready. We're going to roll out what our spring is going to look like. We're still vetting a few things, but I'm hoping that you will be pleased with some of the changes that we are able to make because of you and the hard work you've put in this year to keep our students in person learning. So until we meet again, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay connected.